I think it might shock a lot of people on YouTube to learn that I actually made $20,000 selling sports cards, because this channel is not about, the top 5 cards that you should buy. It's all about collecting. And as you can see, I'm a recovering hoarder, and I had 8 million cards by the time I was 18 years old. And I've been selling off around 7.5 million cards in memorabilia over the last 10 years. And I didn't make $20,000 selling stuff like this. This is a Jose Canseco 40-40 bat. So that's the autograph. And again, that's the Jose Canseco model. Or even this bat, which is a Frank Thomas Sweet Spot. There you go. So that's Frank Thomas. Or these error cards for Al Leiter, which I got signed when I met Al Leiter in New York. Or what about this Rickey Henderson autograph plaque that I am selling in a bulk deal right now in Arizona? Or this Don Mattingly that I didn't get signed. This one is also a plaque, but again, Mattingly's still around, so you could get it signed for yourself. Or what about any of these cards that I'm going to show you? Here's a Warren Spahn rookie. Here's a Sandy Koufax rookie. Here is a Christy Mathewson T206. Here is a Mel Ott from 1931. Here is another team card for Christy Mathewson. This is from 1913, and this is obviously a Gretzky rookie. And here is a Joe DiMaggio. And all of you know my most expensive card is the Mantle 63 Auto, which is worth around $7,000. I didn't make $20,000 from selling any of that stuff. Obviously, I still have it. So what did I do? How did I make $20,000 selling sports cards? Hello everyone, and welcome back to the show. This is the EDI Sports Channel, and my name is Doc, and I'll be your host. This is where we make sense of life, sports, and sports cards. If you are a fan of any one of those three, hit the subscribe button right now. And this video is all about how I made $20,000 selling sports cards. And the reason I want to talk about it is because I want to make this very, very clear. You can actually make money selling sports cards. But if you do this the wrong way, you can actually lose more money than you actually spend, which is exactly what a lot of you guys are doing. So I want to actually show you this Reddit post that I just saw recently of somebody breaking down all of their breaks. You all know what breaks are, but you got to see this. You will not, when I saw it, I almost, I was reading it going, stupid, 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 stupid. So don't do this. Okay, so here it is. Here's the post. Now, what you can see is that they spent way too much money. I'm going to take it off the screen because, folks, you should never, ever, 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 if you're going to be a subscriber here, please do not spend thousands of dollars on a break. I don't care what kind of card you can get. And yes, this guy actually got a few hits like he did. He spent $6,000 on a break and he got a $7,000 or $8,000 card. Wonderful, except that he spent $60,000. Folks, if you're going to spend $60,000, don't do anything. Here's my best advice. Hit me up. Here's the link to my Instagram and my X account. Hit me up before you spend any more money and ask me, Doc, should I buy this? And I'm going to tell you, probably 99% of the time, no, do not do it. I don't know what you guys are spending your money on, but you hate money. And if you're rich, that's fine. If you're rich, that's fine. You have plenty of it. You could do whatever you want. Like Jeff Wilson, he is a rich guy. And the fact that he likes to waste money is fine. He is allowed to waste as much money as he wants. He's allowed to give it away. And that's what you guys need to not do. You don't have as much money as he does. Therefore, you cannot afford to give it all away. So don't do that anymore. That's my advice. All right, so let's get into the answer to this question. So how did I make $20,000 selling sports cards? Like we've already shown you, I didn't make $20,000 selling a Wayne Gretzky rookie. I could have, well, maybe not. This one's not worth $20,000. I did not make $20,000 selling the Mickey Mantle autograph. It's not worth $20,000. It's only worth $7,000. So I didn't make it there. So how did I do this? And so for anybody that's been following this channel, you know that I've been in sports cards since the 80s. Yes, my first pack that I ever pulled a card from was the 1983 Topps pack. It was a cello pack, which my dad bought at a local convenience store called Silverman's, which was in the middle of Livingston, New Jersey. For anybody that knows where that is, again, a lot of famous people came from Livingston. But that's the first card I ever pulled. And then from there, my father got me into sports card dealing, which was not my choice. Again, I was the shyest kid you could ever imagine. And when you go into the sports card hobby, you are dealing with adults who want to rip kids off. That has not changed. If there's some things that have changed in the hobby, that's one of them that has never changed. Adults love to try to rip kids off. So, since that's the answer, where did I get all this money from? And that is, here we go. This is the answer. There's one card. I sold over 100 of these cards, and I made a fortune off of them. And here is the card. For anybody that knows this channel, you already know the card, but here we go. There you go. The 1989 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. card is the card that I made $20,000 on. And I have a whole bunch left. And the reason that I made $20,000 is because you can do the math. I sold them between $200 and $250 each, and I sold more than 100 of them. Now, some of them did go for around $175, $180, but again, the average price was around $210, and I sold more than 100 of them. You do the math. That's over $20,000 just from one card. This was the hottest card ever, and if you want to know how you actually can make a lot of money, at least this kind of amount of money. Again, $20,000 is not going to last you a very long time. But as a teenager in the 80s, $20,000 was a lot of money. All I can say is that when I went off to college, I had a lot of spending cash. And that was different than a lot of my friends who were doing couch diving for quarters to figure out, if they could get a Happy Meal at McDonald's. Again, I went off to college with a bunch of cash. I was lucky, but I also worked my tail off. But $20,000 is not going to last you a lot. It's good money for extra expenses. If you want to buy more cards, if you want to do a different hobby, if you want to buy a whole bunch of social media apps. Like I'm trying to level up this channel and buy some other apps to help me do that. And so you have to make some money in this. I don't actually make a lot of money right now. I will say I'm in the consolidation phase. Again, I am a recovering card hoarder. I'm the son of another card hoarder or a hoarder in general. So I have a tendency to hold on to a lot of stuff, and that's a problem. You have to let things go, even though they're worth money. Again, these are worth money, and what they're worth around $65 right now. Again, what could I sell them for like tomorrow? I could sell each one of these for $50 just like that because, again, it's one of the most popular cards in the hobby. But if you want to make money, this is what you have to research. You have to find the next Ken Griffey Jr. card. That's it. So it's not a big secret. Now, it's not about rookie prospecting. It's about finding the one card that everybody wants. Now, you've already missed the boat on Shohei Ohtani. That's it. Actually, you had an opportunity to do this with Shohei Ohtani back in 2021-22. When he got hurt around 2022, You should have bought all of his cards right then, because now you'd be selling them. You should not be buying Shohei's now. You should be selling Shohei's now. And this is the reverse psychology of selling sports cards, is you want to be selling into the hype. You do not want to be buying into the hype. You want to be selling into the hype. You want to be buying when people are down on a player, when people don't want to, like, they're like, I don't want this card anymore. Yeah, that's when you should be buying cards. And so this is why it's so difficult to make money in the sports card hobby, is because most people tend to buy into the hype and then sell into the panic, which is why when they talk about stocks, it's sell low, or buy low, sell high. Except you've been doing the reverse. Most people do the reverse. Most people buy high and sell low. Most people buy high and sell low, which is why everybody keeps losing money. That's it. That's the bottom line. Now, unfortunately, the strategy that I use to get all of these Griffies no longer exists. And that's the thing that's changed about the hobby, is that the manufacturers, all these people that make cards, and so I'm going to show you this. So this is the new 2025 basketball. So unfortunately, this box just costs too much. What is this box actually worth? Like retail-wise, this box is probably worth, it has, let me see how many cards it has. If it will actually tell me. Amazing. 59. And it's 59 cards on it. So what's this actually worth? It's worth about $5 or $6. That's it. That's what it's worth. And what do they charge for it? They charge $30. So you've already gotten screwed. This is marked up so much more than it's actually worth that you're never going to make money off of it. When I was buying boxes, I had cases of 89 Upper Deck. Again, the entire case was about $400. The entire case, which means that if I opened up the entire case, which I would get around 25 Griffies in a case, and I could sell them for $200 each, you do the math. I made the money back. And that's how you could make profit. But those days are gone. You can no longer buy wax to get cards. That's why everybody seems to be doing breaks, except you're spending too much on the break. For whatever it is, I don't understand, and maybe more people need to watch this channel, but you don't seem to understand the numbers on breaks. Like, what is the break-even point that you can't go past on a break? If you're spending more than $1,000 on a break, you're already past the break-even point. Again, I'll show you this post from Reddit. This guy has no idea what he's doing. Yes, he got a whole bunch of big name cards, but his collection is a loss. He has a bunch of cards, but he's paid so much more for those cards. Like, just look at how much he spent. He spent $60,000. He could have just bought all of those cards and had money left over. And that's what everybody needs to start understanding, is that he's spending $6,000 on a break when none of these cards are worth more than $6,000. It doesn't matter that it's like, oh, well, but I got a card that's worth $8,000 in a $4,000 break. Well, who cares? You already spent all the money previously. You're gambling and you don't even know it. Stop doing this. You need to know your break-even point. You need to know, okay, and it's not one break each. It's the entire year. How much are you spending for the entire year? And then do a strategy. So if you're trying to get some of these big name cards and you're willing to spend $60,000, honestly, sit on the sidelines. Take your $60,000, sit on the sidelines, and just go to a card show. I am guarantee you'll get way more cards than you ever would from a break. And if you want, then go on to Veriswap and trade some of those big name cards for the cards you actually want. So you can convert the big name cards into the bigger cards that you're actually looking for, and you never need to do a break ever again. Now, I know that doesn't help the breakers out there, but unfortunately, the economics of breaking doesn't work for you. The house always wins, And in the gambling world, the breakers always win. You're not. Now, I'm trying to come up with a way of like how to do a much fairer break, because to be honest, they're all in this together. We all love the cards. We all want these bigger cards. The problem is that the economics of buying wax makes it impossible. And so breaks are the only way to really do that. And if I could form a community of collectors, we could actually buy boxes together, which lowers the cost, which would also lowers your cost on the break. You still have the same gambling piece, but at least you're not spending thousands and thousands of dollars. Like if a box costs $1,000 and 10 people want to go in on it, again, it costs much less. You're still gambling, but you're just not spending as much money, and it's also not out into, eBay auctions where each break position costs thousands and thousands each. Again, whatever the cost of the box is, you pay your share and you get what you get, but at least everybody's got a fair shot. That's what I would like to do, but again, the only way to do that is to be able to create a community where people believe in that philosophy that, okay, I will only spend $150 on a break in order to get into a $1,000 box with the risk that I know that I might not get anything. Again, at the end of the day, it's only $150. That might be the fairest way to do it, but the only way to do that is if you have someone who's a leader who says, we're going to do a fairer break. And that's it. That's all it is. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is how I made $20,000 selling sports cards. If you like that, hit the like button and the subscribe. I will be back with a whole bunch of new videos for the holidays. This is Doc saying, I'll see you next time.